Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Looking for hay that's a cut above the rest? From field to feeder, Larson Hay delivers top-quality, nutrient-packed hay your horses and livestock will love. And with the Larson family leading the way, you know every bale is made with integrity and care. Larson Hay weighs every bale so you can be confident that you're getting what you're paying for. No gimmicks and no small print, just the best hay you could ever feed your horses. Don't settle for just any bale, choose the cream of the crop since 1883. Visit larsonhay.com today, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They are our television broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Speaking of Larson Hay, this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, the 21st and 22nd, are the Larson Hay Customer Appreciation Days with incredible savings, so don't miss that. Also wanted to do a quick mention for Florida Beach Horses. As you know, we have been following them, and they have been through so much lately, between losing horses in a terrible trailer accident and then their horse, of course, Cloud, who was recently found deceased. And those folks are wonderful people that rescue horses and give them a great job on the beach. And we're excited to tell you that they are back on the beach, so you can get your ride and book it now. And hopefully pretty soon the Horse Talk Show will be going to visit Florida Beach Horses and sharing that amazing experience with all of you. I am not in the studio this week. I want to thank you for supporting us in watching the show, even though I'm absent. I lost my father this past week, and I was a daddy's girl. I am a daddy's girl, and he was my hero, David Allen Barton, absolutely incredible man. And so I'm out of the studio this week because you guys probably know it's not easy to do an hour and 15-minute live show when you're not quite up to par. So I just ask that your prayers and thoughts would be with myself and family and loved ones of my dad, who was absolutely one of a kind. So I will be back next week for sure. And I just want to say thank you to all those people that listen. And you guys on the sky on Saturday morning, thank you for all the wonderful introductions you make when you see my wrap truck. I just want to thank Joe at the little store that helped carry out my dog food. Lynn Bolton, who stopped me in the traffic honking the horn, saw my truck and said we never missed the show on the sky. Debbie and Bree at the grocery store, thank you. I love that you guys listen and watch us, and we try to share everything in the horse world that we think is important, from 501c3s to major events. And we just try to bring it all to you in a fun and interesting way. And our guests today are fantastic. We hope you enjoy the show. We thank you so much for tuning in. And I thank you so much for Pat and Pete for filling in for me this week. I appreciate you guys all and enjoy the show.
Thank you. And we're going to do just 1 second of silence for Luisa's dad. And there you are. So let's get started with the Horse Talk Show. Today's lineup, woohoo, February 18th. Our first guest is Everything Endurance, Jeremy and Heather Reynolds, top endurance riders. Our next guest is Megan Vainosky, owner of MV Equestrian. And we're going to talk about Children's Charity Classic coming up. And that'll be the show lineup.
Sounds like a great show.
Great show. So Pat and I are here together having a good time on the Horse Talk Show. So let's go through the news.
Let's hear it.
The Children's Charity Classic coming up. That's
Yes.
February 21st. Unfortunately, it's sold out.
Yeah.
But they're going to make it an
annual thing, and it's really for a great cause, helping 10 charities that support children.
That's great. Well, we've just found out that Live Oak International has gone to the dogs.
Oh boy.
Ocala Dog Ranch will have dock diving.
Yeah, that's on March 13th through the 16th. That's 4 days. But if you register before March 7th, you'll receive a free admission to Live Oak International.
Wow, get your dog.
Get your dog signed up.
There you go. Save the date, 2025 International Women's Day celebration.
Yeah, it's a whole day of celebration, but their event at the CF Klein Center is going to be March 7th, 11:30 to 1 p.m.
Honoring women in the equine world. Decoupling. Okay, the big word.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is they're separating horse racing from the gambling, meaning slot machines and different things that are in to play, they're talking about separating them. And this is a problem, so we wanted you to get aware of this, because if they do that, then a lot of these racetracks could shut down because they get a lot of money for being together, because people that want to come watch the race want to go and do some gambling also.
Yeah, and they're going to leave our state. It's going to have a huge economic impact. So be aware, get involved.
And we're talking about billions of dollar impact. So
3.1 billion.
Right.
It's a lot of.
So let your congressman know that, hey, you support them staying together, and we don't want this to happen.
Yeah. Oh, and
Princess the donkey.
Yeah, Royal Blessing helping out Princess. Just having a 5-pound tumor removed from her tail, making her just a little more happy as a little donkey there.
Little donkey.
Yeah, we love donkeys.
There you go. And Cyrus from Gentle Carousel, he's one of the protector dogs. He has received Hero, who protects the heroes, for make North Central Florida a better place. So we will shouts out to Gentle Carousel, and they're usually recognized by their horses, and now they've gone to the dogs.
Yeah.
So
protecting those heroes.
There you go. Warriors Gala.
Warriors Gala, Outdoor Valor, doing great things, helping support our veterans that are suffering with PTSD, and just making sure that they have support for all that they do for us.
So February 28th from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
And that's at
Making It Matthews.
There you go.
Yeah, they're just going to have all kinds of semi-formal events, raffles, live auctions, just helping to support this great cause.
And they take veterans out on boats and take them fishing just to get kind of a relaxing day out.
Yeah.
And just stay cool. And I believe that's it.
That's it. I think so. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
We have a lot going on.
And we have Pat Myers Electric right here in the studio.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
There you go. Well, we're helping out Louisa. So, Louisa, our hearts go out for you. Yep. So, stay tuned. Our next segment is with the Endurance Riders.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. And don't forget, Larson Hay has their Customer Appreciation Days this Friday and Saturday, the 21st and 22nd. Don't miss it.
Well, Dancin Pete and Pat, and we've got our guest, Heather and Jeremy Reynolds from Endurance. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So, tell us, what is endurance? That's what everybody, we all hear, but you guys do the top. So,
well, typically it's anywhere from 50 to 100 miles in one day.
And there's intro rides and 25-mile rides also, just stepping stone your way into the insanity.
Okay.
A lot of sore butts.
Yeah. Not if you're doing it right. Well, if you're walking a lot, yes. The more you walk, the more sore that butt will be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Walking does make you more sore. But 100 miles is our championship distance, and we travel the world to race. Yeah.
So, how far have you gone?
See Malaysia, Dubai, Colombia, England, France, Italy, Portugal,
Chile.
Spain.
Wow.
Chile. Sweden? That was interesting.
Sweden?
An ice race.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Yeah.
Ice race?
Yeah.
Studs that big.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you walk or run during it? Because I know you do it.
Funny story though. Our horses had big studs. First two loops, our friend had trained the horse. We're supposed to do a 75-mile ride that day. First two loops, horses are going great, and about
halfway through the second
loop, they just were done. Like, wow, are they just not ready? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they felt tired.
Done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh. So we get to the check. They'd lost a majority of the studs. They were just that smart.
They
like,
were
we're not
afraid to
killing ourselves
slide
over
in.
these people. So they just went real careful, and we didn't know. And then after the studs got in, they were pulling their arms off again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really smart. Yeah.
It was a really neat experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how do you go about training for something like that? Obviously, you're in all
of a sudden we're in ice.
Yeah, all these different terrains and places. What's your training like?
Yeah, we usually train specific for the course we're going to do. But in that, those horses lived in Sweden, obviously, and they trained in the snow and ice. And
I think other than Sweden and Colombia, we brought our own horse to all those places I just listed.
yeah,
But Colombia and Sweden, we had friends supply horses for us.
Oh,
wow.
So they were used to that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the ice ones.
and used to and trained in studs so they wouldn't get problems. But yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's a
what
lot.
breeds are your top breeds?
typically Arabians or Arabian crosses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why the Arabian?
Yeah.
They just they're bred through history to do long distances, and they're the kind of the original hot-blooded horse. So if you want anything to be a little more amped, you add a little Arab in them. So
You want a little more amped?
That's what we have some jumpers mixed into these pictures. So people are like, that's an endurance horse? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are
So
But those three won the Tevis.
yeah,
With
retired.
me, I rode them at the Tevis, and I won on all three of those horses.
So if you're listening, we're looking at horse pictures of
yeah,
Heather standing with some horses and probably.
and the owner of the
student.
three horses.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
there you go.
Wonderful.
Very fun. But yeah, to get back to the training, it's all about consistency and keeping regular with your riding miles.
So typical, because we've talked. We went last time you guys were here. We went out to eat and we started really talking about the endurance. So tell us a little bit of how you get a horse to that place, because it wasn't what I thought. I thought you go out there and do 20 miles every day and all
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So it's just like a marathon training. You increase distance usually by 20% a week on your build-up phase. But we train the horses usually 5 to 6 days a week. So 3 days are riding days and 3 days are walking days usually. And we use an exerciser. Some people just walk on their backs. It just depends on what you have time for.
Or you can substitute with an arena day instead of walking.
Instead of walking, yeah.
So 3 kind of
hard work.
Generic, let's say Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to go 6 to 8 miles. And Saturday or Sunday, so it's kind of an every other day, you'll go 15 to 20.
Wow.
And then anything beyond 20, we skip. We just go to events and get them fitter, because then you're getting credit. And the events themselves give the horse a lot more things to learn.
Yeah, because
crowds and eating.
At
and
home, they can act one way, but they get to a race, they can be a total different animal. So
right.
Yeah.
You need to practice that, especially the bigger events you go to, the more horses, more energy.
It's funny. I had somebody say that. A person was having trouble at the show, and they said that exact thing. You can't prepare for the. You can prepare for the show, but you also have to teach your horse how to show.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing. You can't just go to one show every year. My horse is going to be good.
Yeah, our 100-mile horses typically take 3 years before they're going to do 100, but those 3 years are learning how to do 100.
Oh.
So go to the event, because a lot of endurance horses get too excited. They won't eat and drink, so then you're not going to make 100 miles.
No.
So they just get too wrapped up in what's going on.
Then we kind of have learned over 20 years of having our business, like how to use like a herd dynamic to keep the horses calm. And if you set those rules, then even if the horses triple by numbers, if you still stay to those same rules and the horse is used to those same rules, then you can apply it even in bigger situations, and it really makes a big difference.
Wow.
To keep them calm.
And for example, a local ride here might have 20 horses in an event, maybe more, but the Tevis might have 200. So to get the horse ready for a 200 horse mass start in the dark, you need to...
Oh, they start in the dark?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're starting at 5:15 in the morning on mountain trails, and so it gets light quickly, but it's dark out. Technically, it's dark out when you start the ride and when you finish the ride.
Okay, so when you're doing this, do you have checkpoints, is what I remember?
Yeah, every 15 to 20 miles.
And what do they do at the checkpoints?
So it's called gait into a hold. So you have to meet a heart rate requirement of 60 to 64 beats, whatever the veterinarians set. And then your hold time starts. And then you have a vet check with the vets that go over about 10 metabolic parameters and lameness.
For example, hydration.
Yeah.
They listen to their guts to make sure everything's moving correctly.
And then skin tenting for hydration. And then they look at their gums for stress. And then obviously they're listening to their heart with a stethoscope.
Checking for arrhythmias or anything bizarre.
Wow.
And then the most important is the horse has to trot freely and sound.
And it's a zero tolerance sport, so no bute, nothing at all. You can't use anything.
Wow, what a concept!
Woo! Yeah, so our horses are arguably have to be the soundest in the industry at the moment to go 100 miles totally clean and be sound. And you can be disqualified just as easily at the finish line as at the beginning. Every check has to be fit to continue, meaning they meet the exact same passable standard.
Wow. And then you have strategies. Tell us a little bit about your strategies, because that's the coolest thing. When we got to go eat together, that was the best, talking to you guys.
Well, there's different strategies depending on the course, but for instance, the Tevis, it's a mountain course, so there's a lot of downhill and really technical rock, and so that benefits me because I can get off and do some miles.
Oh, so you get off the horse?
Yeah.
He does about 20 miles on average on foot, but he's also run. So there's an ultra run for humans called the Western States Run over the same trail as the Tevis, more or less the same trail, which he's also run without the horse.
You're nuts.
So
I was going to say, I assume that you go as a rider, you go through just as much training as the horses go through to be able to handle that amount of distance mentally and physically.
Yeah, and a lot of riders have multiple horses, so you're actually probably doing more than just your one horse is doing.
Yeah.
If you're keeping 3 or 4 conditioned.
And we're conditioning 22 at the moment. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of riding. Yeah.
Lots of riding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Now, you also said that you're in a group and you'll push the group to go forward.
Yeah, depending on, so in that instance, there was a horse that, my horse doesn't recover very fast, but my horse has a lot more speed. So I would push like the last few miles into a check so that I can kind of level the playing field, because my horse is always like recovers the same point always.
Whether she goes fast or slow, it's the same,
it's always the
same standard time.
And then some horses, with that extra speed, it just messes them up. They're used to much slower speeds, and then you can get an advantage that way.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back. We have a second segment with them, so this is going to be fun to keep talking about endurance. So stick with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, Peterson-Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome back to the third segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. And I did forget to mention one lady we met at the 5K, Teresa. Thank you so much for listening to the show on Saturday mornings on the Sky. We love you, and we love that you enjoy the Horse Talk Show.
Well, we're back with Heather and Jeremy Reynolds, and they are endurance riders. And let's get deep into it again, because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, very fun. So if someone's new to the sport and they want to get involved, like, what's the steps? What would you encourage people to do?
Well, we have a National Racing Club, excuse me, the American Endurance Ride Conference. And if you go onto their website, aerc.org, there's a whole bunch of information. And they'll even set you with a mentor in your area.
Wow.
In addition to that, we do a lot of coaching and clinics. We had someone actually listen to this talk show and come to one of our clinics, which was super fun.
There it is.
And
Did everybody hear that?
She's now a lifelong friend.
Yeah,
and she had never done endurance, and she had a lofty goal. She came to us to our clinic, and then the next season came for the winter, and she wanted to do Tevis, and within 9 months, she finished the Tevis.
Really?
We got her qualified and through it, and she was tenacious. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, between coaching and training.
So how do you afford to go to these races? That's what I'm sorry to say that, but I'm like, you went where?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have a spleen.
Some
I don't
of
have a kidney.
the international races, a lot of those are invites and paid by whoever's sponsoring the event. And then some of them have been on our own dime. And just like anything else, save your pennies and hopefully you can afford it. But yeah, flying horse is pretty expensive. So if you love it.
Where is the Tevis Cup?
The Tevis Cup is in Truckee, California. Okay. Starts in Truckee, California.
Finishes in Auburn, California.
So where's the event that's over in Dubai? What's that called?
There's many. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they'll hold the World Championships there.
The Sheikh Mohammed Cup is probably the most popular as far as And the President's
or
Cup,
President's Cup,
which is in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And now there's a new, real popular one in Saudi called Alula. It's kind of.
And that's where the next World Championship for us will be.
Wow.
In 2026.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many times have you won the Tevis?
I'm at 5.
Wow.
I'm at 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to catch up.
So are you competing against each other?
No, not usually. No, usually. And it used to be when we sell horses, we put the more marketable one ahead. And now, if we were to ride together, we've never been fortunate enough to have to make that choice at Tevis.
Yeah.
It's because they don't allow ties.
No. It seems like, well, there's the Tevis is typically around a 50% completion rate. When you're going a little faster, you're kind of.
That drops.
Yeah.
Because you're taking more risk at speed.
So usually it's like one of us finishes or the other one doesn't have as good of a day.
The last 2 times we're both in the top 10.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if we were to ride together, we'd then base it off of which horse did more work that day to make it fair. Because we're not going to race each other. Because if we get disqualified at the finish, which could happen if your horse is limping.
Go ahead, honey.
If you sprint 10 after 100 and then your horse is lame at the end, you're done. You're out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So, so we'd base it off of which horse did more of the leading, like pulling the pace faster, and that would be the one that would get to win.
Wow. So what's your bucket list? Like you sound like you've done all this.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do
I want to
above
go
this?
in France. They have their version of their mountain course, like their version not of Tevis, but it's their mountainous course called the Florac. I'd really like to go do that.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I've done most of the endurance stuff that I've wanted to do other than keep doing them. The bigger events are the most fun. I like tough competition in representing my country. So anytime I can do that, it's just another check box that I got to participate.
Wow.
Have fun. Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah. So you guys travel a lot. Are you traveling by yourself or do you have any companions with you?
We do. We go make the trip back and forth from Florida to California every year, and we fill the front of our truck with 3 dogs.
Living stuffed animals.
Usually, sometimes 3, but right now we're down to 2 dogs and a cat. There's a.
You travel with a cat?
Yeah.
In the cab?
And super chill.
And he was a show cat that was our friend's cat that failed out of a breeding program because he had a genetic flaw with his knee. So he became our cat, but because of that, he was used to traveling on hotels and things. So he's a cool dude. Yeah, he thinks he's one of the dogs.
And you don't worry about opening a door and him jumping out?
It's happened at a gas station or 2, but.
And he panicked. And he took, because when he gets outside, he panicked because he's indoor only. So he sprinted for the convenience store.
And she yells at some biker.
I'm yelling at a biker. He's about to fire up his motorcycle. I'm like, wait, because the cat's just beelining it. And then he jumps on the window and Jeremy's inside paying.
Oh.
And because I couldn't catch him. So I had to get the cat's attention. And I'm yelling, my cat is running it. And the motorcycle guy's like, what is she talking about? And then Jeremy comes out and we had to distract him while one of us scruffed him. And that was a little exciting.
But now he's pretty trained to stay in the car.
You don't keep a leash on him?
No.
Okay.
We're pretty brave, I guess.
You have a litter box as he travels?
In the truck.
Yeah, in the truck.
He'll go.
Oh, no.
Cat's in the back.
Yeah.
I tucked him to the seat halfway and he'll use it.
Yeah.
And when we let all the dogs out, he'll use it. We've got a little shovel.
He only uses it at the gas station, so then we'll clean it out at the gas station.
Yeah.
It's very respectful.
Very,
Yeah,
very
he is.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Almost
He knows the travel rules.
You have a cat that thinks
Bomb
like a
the
dog.
cab.
Yes, very much so.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're adopting a baby girl, so we're adding a baby girl to the equation of the road trip, which will be extra.
A baby what?
Girl, that's what I said. So my friend called randomly. We're not on anyone's list. She goes, "Do you still want a kid, or do you guys still want a baby?" I said, "Yeah, baby what?" She goes, "A baby human." Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. So now we've got
So we're
this
new parents.
cute little baby
Congratulations.
human.
Yeah,
There's in that
congratulations.
picture there. Yeah.
Wow.
Little baby human.
I was like,
it's random. There she just popped up.
we're going to have
Yeah.
a baby.
Yeah, and I said a baby what, like you said a baby what. Yeah. Yep.
Because then I thought, go, your
Right.
kid.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Wow.
baby human.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Pretty fun.
So,
We can't say her name because we haven't adopted her all the way yet.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
we're guardians at the time. So but
Okay.
she's amazing.
That's awesome.
Maybe the next time we're on the
Wonderful.
show we'll be able to bring her.
Yay.
Say her name. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, super fun.
amazing.
But then, yeah, we operate Reynolds Racing, and our website's reynoldsracing.us, and that's another way you can get into the sport. We do clinics throughout the winter and have fun teaching people how to go down the trail safely and for a long time.
So what is a clinic like?
We structure it almost like a full weeks of training, concentrated into 3 days, and then we go over electrolytes and just normal
Showing and nutrition,
Yeah.
and like everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
Confirmation,
everything.
how to do.
So if I showed up with my horse, what would we do?
You wouldn't though. You show up
Yeah.
on ride our horses.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we want to
okay.
make sure the horses are safe.
And
we
that's a
can do it.
control thing. Like we had a lady, and so people could see how they should behave.
Yeah.
Right. But we had a lady show up, and she was on my top horse, and she said, "Well, he just can't keep up." I go, "Well, that's false." So you get a better.
Oh, I love that.
Because you know that the horses more than they do, so they can't tell you something. You're like, "No, maybe it can't keep up." No,
Taking that piece out of the puzzle.
Right.
Yeah, I was
So
teaching
we'll
with a
take
friend that
we'll take
somebody
outside-
said that about my horse. I handed it to her, and she goes, "Well, it must be nice to have one of those easy horses."
Yeah, you're like, here you go.
And my buddy goes, "If he walks off and gives you it long enough,
Don't get on.
she will be the hardest horse here."
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
we'll
true.
take outside horses and do all the proper how the endurance horse should train and carry themselves down the trail. But when people come to us to learn,
Well, we want a control group, so we can really coach them well. Like we know what this should look like, and it's
Coach
not
the
looking.
people first.
Yeah, coach the people first, and
Yeah.
let them get a feel because they go home and maybe they're flying in from far away. They're not going to trailer their horse to us, especially if it's snowing. So if they can get on a horse and feel what it should feel like, then they can go home and try to replicate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Horses teach humans.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is awesome because I could just see the mess you could have in endurance.
Oh.
Okay, bring the horses. We're going down
And
the
they're
trail.
kicking each other, flying everywhere. It's like I did not expect them to bring that horse. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
it's just safer.
Well, you guys, this is awesome. Thank you again for coming.
You're so
Thanks for
welcome.
having
It's always
us.
fun.
Yeah, super
Oh,
fun.
good.
Super
Well,
fun.
we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna give Piranha bags before we leave.
Oh, the best.
So some goodies from Piranha,
Awesome. Thank you.
and we're gonna see you on the trail later in the next segment.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that could talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the fourth segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Now here's Pete and Pat. Enjoy the show.
We're back, Dancin Pete and Pat, and we have Megan Vainosky. Is that right?
It's Vainosky.
Vainosky.
It's okay.
It's okay.
At this point, I'll take anything.
And you show jump, correct?
I do. I am a show jumper. That is
Okay.
correct.
And what big event is coming
What's going
up?
on?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we've got hits. We have WEC going on right now, and we are right smack in the middle of the Winter Series, which will be done in the end of March. We just had the League of Nations last weekend, so Nations Cup. So we had the United States represent us last weekend, and do not ask me who won because off the top of my head, I do not know. But that is the big stuff that's going on in the show jumping world. Is we're coming to the end of our Winter Series, so we can take a little break. And get ready for summer.
And then we have the big one. What is it called?
We had the League of Nations. That was last weekend.
Oh, I thought that was the World Cup.
No, that was last weekend.
Well, I missed it. Well, I was there, but I didn't go watch it. Good.
Yes.
So tell us just a little bit about show jumping, so the listeners they know what is it, because you explained it so well when we were at the hits.
Yeah. So show jumping, for those that are just listening, it's basically a speed event. So you have a series of jumps that you basically need to get from jump 1 to jump 10, jump 8, whatever the end course is, as fast as possible without falling, without knocking anything down. And of course, refusing a jump as well. So stopping before you're able to actually go over the jump. And then there's hunters. So hunters is the very pretty, slow, take your time around the ring, and the show jumpers is kind of the opposite. I still like to try to look pretty when I go around the ring, but you see a little bit more flapping of the wings and not the best equitation in the show jumping realm of things. But yeah, so show jumping is a speed event, and hunters is more or less you want to get around as pretty as possible. It's supposed to resemble fox hunting, and it's supposed to be very relaxed and
that's
very
what
chill.
Sarah does.
Yeah, it's very serious business.
Yes.
It's very serious business. You
Yes.
have to look just so.
Yes, you have to have your beautiful jacket on.
You can't wear certain colors. You're
Yes.
supposed to wear
Saddles
specific
as
colors.
well, saddles as well, bridles as well.
You guys have some really fun events. I've seen some
Yes.
horses go around that are dressed up and
Yes.
it's creative, and I have never seen that in the hunter ring.
Yes, so
unacceptable.
As you get into the higher levels, like Longines is really good at having their charity events all throughout the year. I think they just recently had one where somebody was dressed up as Dolly Parton. Yeah, so they had the whole chest and the big blonde wig and the hair, and they had a little Barbie pony that they were riding, and it was great. I can't say pony, it was a horse because they were jumping 1.40 m, but yeah, so that was really cool.
So what kind of clients are your attractors to you?
So
How do you get them?
Yeah, so I started out as kind of just having whoever wants to come and learn about horses and learn how to ride. Starting my business, I kind of just wanted anybody who was willing to hear me out. But now I've kind of taken a turn in my business where I help horses and humans who have some sort of trauma in this industry. I hate to say it, but I grew up in this industry, so I feel like I'm allowed to say it. There are some people in this industry that are just not as nice, and they kind of use working students and their clientele to their advantage. There's a lot of taken advantage of in this industry, in my opinion. And I get a lot of people who lose their confidence in the show ring or just lose their confidence in general because, God forbid, they knock a rail down at one of their shows and their trainer berates them and makes them feel small. So I've kind of turned into a little bit of this therapy type of thing where both horse and human, I get their confidence back. And I love it. It's so great. It can be a little traumatizing on my end, horse-wise. I've been kicked, I've been bit, I've been ran down a few times. Not the horse's fault, but
by the students?
No, no, the horses. Luckily, the students have been great. But yeah, so I just kind of rehabilitate. That's kind of what my program has kind of turned into.
Very good.
You do a little bit of sales and consignment too.
Yes,
so
I do.
How do you go about matching or putting the right horse with the right person?
Oh yeah, so really just trying to figure out
what this person is capable of and what their current mind state is. I just recently had a situation where we sold this horse. We thought, mindset was good for this person. They wanted a little bit of a challenge, and it come to find out they didn't really want a challenge. So you're going to have situations like that where it's not always going to work out, but it's just really kind of figuring out the person's lifestyle and if that horse is actually going to thrive in that environment. Kind of going back on this industry as being a little with training methods. I want to make sure that these horses that I send off or sell are going to go to somebody that's going to treat them with love and respect. I get a lot of them from really messed up situations, and I want to make sure, however I can, that they're not going to end up back in a bad situation like that. So just making sure I'm asking questions like, what are you going to use this horse for? What is this horse going to do when you're not riding it? Are you going to have a trainer? Is this for your kid? Is this for you? Just every little tiny question. It can be kind of annoying, but again, I just want to make sure that this horse is going to end up in good hands and not end up back at auction or at a kill pen or something like that.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
So how do we get in touch with you to come out and be a student or someone that's interested?
So I have Facebook and I have Instagram, and I am getting my website up and running. So if you want to look me up, I'm MV Equestrian Ocala LLC on Instagram and Facebook. And I have my website at mvequestrianocala.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, we also have a piranha goodies for you. Piranha. So thanking you for coming out and spending some time telling us a little bit what happened last weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
what's going on.
I had a ticket. And
You missed the whole thing.
I missed the whole thing.
Oh no.
Whoops. But no, that's great.
Yeah.
So what advice, before we get done, what advice would you give somebody that was looking into getting into show jumping?
Oh man, do your research on your trainer and everybody needs a trainer. Everybody, even trainers need trainers. Do your research, ask around, go see the facility, see them train, see how they interact with their clients before you make any sort of decision. And if anybody has a problem with that, that should be your big red flag, and go find somebody else.
Very good.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Megan.
Thank you.
We'll be right back for the next segment on the Horse Talk Show.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifence of Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed.
Oh, piranha.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome back to the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. And don't forget, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, it is Larson Hay Customer Appreciation Days. So go in and be appreciated. Here's Pete and Pat. Enjoy the pairing of teams for the United Way Children's Charity Classic was a phenomenal event at HITS in Ocala, the horse capital. Sponsors and community members came together with the chosen charities and with staff from United Way and staff from HITS under the large tent at the Overlook Club and enjoyed the suspense of finding out the book and characters they would represent in costumes over the jumps on February 21st from 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, so here we go. So Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
The Horse Talk Show really enjoyed interviewing Bob Haight, the CEO of the United Way, an organization that does so much to help others in our community.
A little different twist on it. We're calling ours the Children's Charity Classic. Why did we settle on children? In our community, we're a community of wealth, but we're also a community of immense need. So 13% of our kids live in poverty. When we combine that with the ALICE population, asset limited, income constrained, employed, that's 51% of our households.
Wow.
So we've decided to focus on children with this particular event.
With free admission for all and only a $10 parking fee, this is a family-friendly event and will be great fun to watch. United Way and all 10 children's charities are so grateful to all of the sponsors and supporters, particularly HCA or Hospital Corporation of America, an incredible healthcare company that owns and operates hospitals and other healthcare facilities, for making it possible to bring two worlds together in such a wonderful facility and allow equestrians the opportunity to give back in such an exciting and fun way. We had a moment or two to speak to Alan Cassie, the CEO of HCA.
We love our horse community. Horses are great ambassadors to bring hope, to bring inspiration, and also to bring some resources to those most in need. So we look forward to partnering with the equestrian community to bring our horse lovers and our horse community awareness for the needs for the children in our community. So this Children's Charity Classic will hopefully bring together all of the wonderful things with our equestrian community and bring those resources to bear for the most vulnerable in need. Equestrian community partnering through the United Way, through this Children's Charity Classic, will one, bring awareness to the need for the children in our community, and also bring resources for the great agencies that are going to support the kids in need. Whether it comes to reading, education, health, the access to healthcare, access to support, mental illness, all of these things impact our youth and our children. And we're hoping the equestrian community can really bring awareness and resources to help those in need.
This legacy event exists because of the hope and determination to collaborate and partner with like-minded individuals and organizations to maximize impact in the lives of children. This is done by focusing on education, health, and financial stability, the building blocks for a child's quality of life. The Children's Charity Classic team will ensure that your support directly impacts local children's causes, making a tangible difference where it's needed most. Don't miss this. February 21st at HITS from 6 to 9 p.m. You will not be disappointed, and 10 charities in our community will have more opportunities to help those children who may be less fortunate than ourselves. For more information on the Children's Charity Classic, go to uwmc.org.
Well, back, Dancin Pete and Pat, and we left Megan here. So this is a great function. We had Bob come and we interviewed him, And we kept Megan here because it is show jumping. So Megan is definitely somebody we want to be here. So it's a costume thing. That's the coolest thing for me. Well, it's probably for Megan because she said, "Oh, I've made costumes."
Yes, it brings back a lot of memories. When I was a young child, I did a handful of charity events, but my favorite, me and a handful of my friends, we dressed up as the Four Seasons. So I went as fall, and I had a dark bay horse. So he was black. He was that dark. But we did glitter. We did their hair, we did the whole nine. It took us 3 days to get everything like made up together. It took us 4 hours to put everything on our horses, and then to just spend the whole day just jumping and just enjoying our time with each other was so much fun.
So what I understand is it's teams of 3. So you have a junior rider, you have a amateur rider, and you have a professional rider. And they draw what story. Willy Wonka is one of the stories.
Based on children's books.
Children's books. So then they pick which character that they want to be, and then they dress up, and then they compete with each other.
Cool.
That's so cool.
And it's very cool to see the equestrian community and the non-equestrian community pull together and do something great for kids to help support the people most in need in this community.
It's kind of like you, right?
I mean, I guess.
Electrician starts getting into the horse barns.
Yeah, that's kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
It's a way better cause.
Not
electricians.
So
the kids, way better cause. Yeah. Electricians.
So there's 10, I believe, charities that go in and they get money from this great organization. United Way.
Kind of presented by United Way, kind of helping them all come together to help the kids out.
The future of our sports, the future of America. We gotta give back somehow.
And it also gives awareness to the sport as well as giving back to the community and raising money, which all of us have all helped out to do that in the community.
So it's important to know, like, this event, unfortunately, is sold out. But it's going to be an annual event. They want to do this every year so that we can see fun ways to help our community out.
And I'm sure it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully if it gets big enough that it will have more tickets so people can come and watch.
Come and support. Yeah. Come and watch how fun this is.
So here at the Horse Talk Show, we love helping out the community, especially with United Way, helping out kids and with horses. So Louisa's not here, but she would be all excited because that's everything she thinks about is horses and helping out the community and CEP. All that is what it's all about.
Yeah, connecting community.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So if you can't make it this time, get ready for next year so you get your tickets early.
Start planning your costumes.
And I'm sure they will not have a problem if you donated. So look up the United Way and make a donation for this great event, because you don't even have to be there to support it. You can support it by
still make a difference.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's our segment for this. We have one more segment. Stay tuned.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifencer Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, also online at ttdistributors.com.
Epic Equine Veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe for all your current barn needs.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, brought to you by Palm Chevrolet,
your hometown Chevy experience.
We'd like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay,
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
I'm Pat Myers with Pat Myers Electric.
And we're doing the last segment on the Horse Talk Show. So we're going to get wrapped up. And just like Louisa says, if you own a horse, you probably own a dog. So
that's right.
Here's Ocala Dog Ranch.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. In the winter, think about giving your dog a sweater, especially if they're one of these short-haired dogs with no fur. Keep an eye on their paws. Make sure that they don't need to be moisturized because of the dry air that dries up their pads and can lead to foot complications later on down the road. If the dog is left on the porch or left outside, give them a safe, warm place to get away from the cold weather. Bring your dog in at night if they like to be coming at night. Some of the guardian dogs love the cold weather and they're happy to stay out all night long. But just keep an eye on your dog. If it's too cold for you, it's probably too cold for them. And just take care of your dog. After all, we do love them. They're our best friends.
Always great tips from Neil.
Always.
Winter, dogs, same thing with horses. So now we're going to move on to the next tip, which is Pat Myers Electric's tip.
At Pat Myers Electric, we're constantly training to be our absolute best. For all your current barn needs. Hey there, Pat with Pat Myers Electric, the spark of Ocala, here with your tip of the week, keeping your horses and homes happy and safe. So today I want to talk about your electrical panel in the barn and making sure that that panel stays healthy. It's the heart of the system, so we want to make sure it's healthy at all times. Part of keeping it healthy is making sure it's clear of debris. Now I know in a barn, space is at a premium, so we may want to stack things in front of it, especially hay bales or tack, but we want to make sure we can get to that panel safely and in a hurry if we need to. So keeping that space free and clear of debris so we can operate safely is a must. Pat with Pat Myers Electric, serving all your current needs.
Great tip as usual from Pat Myers Electric.
Thank
you,
you,
Spark
Pete.
of Ocala.
Oh,
where'd that come from?
I don't know. Somebody much cleverer than me came up with that.
Oh.
Speaking of being clever, Pete, I believe we're ready to hear your tip of the week.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. So, always thanking Wildlife Works for sponsoring my tip. And if you have unwanted critters, please contact Wildlife Works and get them safely removed. So the tip of the week, I always like to do a tip that's doing what I'm doing this week. So I was playing with a horse this morning and I was at Liberty and the horse was coming over to his right eye, my left shoulder. And we went to go back him up and he couldn't handle it. He turned away and took off because he didn't trust me on that right eye. So my tip of the week is trust. So when you have a horse that's showing you that they don't trust you, make sure you take your time to get that trust back. So I've done that many times with him with his right eye and he's been totally fine. And today I saw it and he was like, I can't stay with you on the right eye. He's brought his butt away. I just brought him back, said, that's okay. And I stood there with him and I backed up again. He had to turn, he ran. Did that about 3 or 4 times. And then finally he backed up about 2 steps And I kept going. And then he was like, that's too many. Three's too many. And he took off again. And I was like, okay. Brought him back, did it a couple more times. And then about third or fourth time after that, he finally said, okay, I trust you enough. And we did about 2 steps and I stopped. We just hung out, waited until he was like, oh, okay, I'm good. And then I said, well, that's a good tip. So, and putting it into your everyday life is also, so trusting with a person. You lose trust with somebody. It takes a while to build them back. So don't expect them to just, okay, well, I trust you. You're going to do this job the right way now.
Take your time.
Take your time. And I'm sure your guys
Earn your
could,
trust.
and you got to earn trust with people, especially if you lose it. And it might not have been intentional. So it wasn't my intention to lose trust with him.
Right.
But if I do lose trust with someone or a horse, I have to get it back. Same thing in riding. You have a great backup, and all of a sudden your backup disappears because you started training it to be faster. You might have to back up and do a couple.
Slow down.
And you feel like you're going backwards. That's the other thing I always tell my students. You're not going backwards. You sped things up, so now it wasn't as strong as you thought it was.
Build a strong foundation.
That's right. And make sure you have the right electrician when you do it.
Absolutely.
after you build the foundation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we've had fun here on the Horse Talk Show. And just a recap of things, events, things like that. Don't forget, Florida Beach horses are back. So if you want to go have a really good time on some really good horses, this is the place to go.
Yeah.
And if you want to go swim with the horse, it's everybody's dream.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're the top equestrian, I've heard people go, I want to swim with my horse. So this is a great place to go swim with the horse. They have some beautiful horses that they say the people just go nuts over. Luis and I need to go down there. You and
It would be wonderful.
and Sarah.
Oh,
go
Sarah
down
would
there.
love it for sure.
So if you want anything, Larson's Hay Customer Appreciation Day, February 21st and 22nd. We're celebrating you. This is the family-oriented place, Larson Hay. They're always making you feel welcome. I go to the one on 27, and I know everybody there. They're just good people. They're going to have some really good sales out for you. So please come. It's going to be, 7:30 to 5:30 on Saturday and 8 to 2. Oh, no, excuse me. 7:30 to 5:30 on Friday and 8 to 2 on Saturday. So please, we want to see you
Stop
there.
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Children's Charity event coming up. You can't go to it.
You can't go, but that doesn't mean you can't be aware that next year there's going to be an event, and I'm sure they wouldn't turn away any donations.
Yeah, so if you want to donate and you feel this is a great cause, please don't hesitate. Look it up and get it by United Way. And of course, Live Oak International, going to the dogs.
Get your free admission. Get in before March 7th.
If you have a dog, to do the dock diving with Ocala Dog Ranch.
Sure.
Yeah, with Neil. We always love Neil. He always has our tips, and this is a great event for him to bring the dog into it. So, and decoupling. So if they take away the gambling inside the horse racing, this could really affect horse racing in Florida. So
make sure your voice is heard.
That's right. The Warriors Gala.
Warriors Gala. Really, really a great cause. Really a good organization. We work with them. They're fantastic people. So make sure that you're getting educated on that cause as well. We have a lot of veterans that need help.
February 28th from 6 to 9. And that's the sound that says that we're wrapping up.
That's the show.
If you're from Ocala, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around. We'll see you next time.